The 80s have never felt so good after a long stretch of hot weather today. Hey, it finally cooled down a bit. Still beautiful outside as we take a live look there. Bit cooler today, but it's still dry and hot. And that's not helping firefighters at all. Today, the Oak Ridge fire in Pueblo County still 0% contained. It's grown to over 1,100 acres so far. The fire burning about 3 miles northwest of the town of Beulah. It sparked a week ago from lightning. There are mandatory evacuation orders for people who live along Middle Creek Canyon Road down south in Pueblo County. Thanks so much for joining us this evening. I'm Mark Salinger. I want to get right over to meteorologist Lauren Robinson because the heat, Lauren, it is coming back strong for this 4th of July week.
Yeah, that's exactly right. We saw those temperatures cool down a bit today. It still felt hot out there. We just weren't in the 90s. We weren't very hot, I'll put it that way. 85 right now at DIA. Most of the Front Range and Eastern Plains in the 80s. We're seeing 70s and 80s in the high country as well. Still pretty warm out west. 91 right now in Grand Junction. But let's go ahead and take a look at our 24-hour temperature change map. The eastern half of the state anywhere from 5 to 15 degrees cooler than we were this time yesterday. The areas seeing the biggest impacts are Akron and Lamar, where we're 15 degrees cooler there, 11 degrees cooler in Colorado Springs, 8 degrees cooler right now at DIA. The high country is seeing those impacts pretty minimal. Same goes for the western slope. But as we take a look at our HD Doppler radar, we do still have those scattered to isolated showers and storms. They've mostly been across the western slope and into the high country through this afternoon. We're slowly starting to see them push into areas of the Front Range right now, just southwest of Denver, coming through areas like Conifer. We're approaching Castle Rock. We're going to watch for these showers to become isolated but bigger as we move through the rest of the evening. So coming up in my full 7-day forecast, we're going to talk more about those spotty storms tonight. We do have hot weather returning tomorrow, and yes, 4th of July right now looking pretty hot and dry. I'll have details on all of that for you just ahead.
Lauren, thank you. 8 people are expected to be okay after being rescued from Chatfield Reservoir on Thursday night. It's the latest rescue for first responders who say they've had to help more and more people just this month than they normally do in a full summer. 9 News reporter Evan Krugel shows us why there's growing concern ahead of this holiday week.
Even on a cloudy day, the cool water at Cherry Creek Reservoir can be tough to resist. Trevor Kaiser
Let's do it.
is testing out his new paddleboard, a life jacket strapped on to the front.
Just to make sure that I'm safe. I'm a good swimmer, but I still think that it's important to be safe out there, and just having that right there on my board always knows I can grab it if I fall off.
But Colorado Parks and Wildlife says not everyone is coming prepared.
We're seeing people not wear their life jackets, go out by themselves, not know the weather forecast, things that are really preventable.
Thursday night, 8 people had to be rescued from Chatfield Reservoir, where at least 2 people have already died this summer.
We're really concerned with the number of water recreation deaths we've seen so far this year. We're approaching 20. And to hit that number before July 4th is really alarming.
Kara says a hot and stormy June hasn't helped.
When those storms roll over the mountains and then hit our popular reservoirs like Chatfield and Cherry Creek, they can come very fast during the afternoon and also come with very fast winds as well.
Conditions that can cause problems for paddleboarders.
When you're paddleboarding and kayaking, it doesn't really take a lot of wind to knock you off. So people aren't expecting that to come through, and if you're not wearing your life jacket, you go in the water, you get blown away from your board or your kayak, you're not really getting back to that at all. So that's triggering a lot of rescues.
While she's thankful people like Trevor have life jackets, she'd rather see them on at all times.
So life jacket doesn't really do you a lot of good unless you're actually wearing it.
And she says there are things you can do before you arrive too.
Kara says before you head out, check the forecast. These days, it's easier than ever to know if you might run into problems.
If there's a chance of afternoon storms, maybe you shift your plans to earlier in the day. Have a hard out of saying, I'm going to be off the water by 2. I'm not even going to worry about getting caught in any storms because why take the chance?
In Arapahoe County, Evan Krugel, 9 News.
CPW is planning extra patrols this weekend and next weekend for the 4th of July. Their focus, of course, to make sure everyone have life vests and is safe on the water. Police are still looking to piece together exactly what happened after a shooting injured a girl overnight. It happened in the Green Valley Ranch neighborhood around midnight. Police say the girl was injured off 41st Place off Himalaya Road. She is expected to survive. Investigators don't have any suspect information at this time. If you know anything, you are asked to call Crime Stoppers. Westminster police are also looking for a suspect that they say is accused of a deadly stabbing. Happened this morning around 9 a.m. on Melody Drive off of West 120th. That's right near I-25 up there. Police say they found a man stabbed to death in the chest at the scene. The suspect is described as a man with brown hair and brown eyes, wearing black pants and a brown or dark red long sleeve shirt. If you see them, you're asked to call 911. Today, a World War II veteran was finally laid to rest. Clifford Strickland grew up on a Colorado farm. He enlisted in the Army in 1940. A few years later, he became one of the more than 75,000 prisoners of war in the Battle of Bataan. He died nearly 82 years ago, 1942. He was never identified until the end of last year. This week, Strickland finally came home. His nephew went to Pearl Harbor to fly his great-uncle's remains back home here to Colorado.
For those other family members out there that are experience the loss or have family members that are MIA in any services, I hope that this story brings you some faith that your loved ones will return home.
Today, he was buried in a full military funeral at Highland Cemetery in Florence, near where he grew up. 82 years later, a little closure for his family and a proper salute to his service. A man who died after he was exposed to a deadly gas at work was remembered today by a community that he loved. 1 month ago today, Tristan Teeter was killed when he was exposed to hydrogen sulfide. Teeter worked at a sugar factory in Fort Morgan. He was the main source of income for his family, leaving behind a wife and 2 young kids. 9 News reporter Lauren Scafidi takes us to a car show remembering him.
The show is designed and originated to, number one, pay honor to Tristan Teeter.
Dozens of classic cars.
59, wow.
Even more people, and too many hot dogs and hamburgers to count, all to remember one special person.
Tristan was a bit of a gearhead or an auto enthusiast, if you will.
Tristan worked at the Western Sugar Cooperative in Fort Morgan. The Morgan County Sheriff's Office says he and 5 others were exposed to hydrogen sulfide May 29th. It killed him. Maxwell Passantino,
Yeah, I'm gonna have you judge. Mason's one of the judges.
organized the car show to help his family with the unexpected loss.
2 is to raise up as much funding as we can to make sure that we can actually support this family in other means. Not to just give you a hug and say we care about you, reach out if you need anything, but to say, hey, we got some of your bills covered too.
Tristan leaves behind his wife Monty and 2 young boys.
Yep, this is all for your daddy.
Tristan's mom, Stacy Hodson, says her son had his own classic car, just like the ones that showed up to remember him today.
He loved cars. He has a Ford square body, I learned that term, pickup that he absolutely loved. He bought that and took Monty to prom in it, and they went on their dates in it. He would probably walk by and go, hey, did you know this about this? And they did this isn't original. And he just would have 100% geeked out about all of this.
She says Tristan was a force to be reckoned with, and he had a big, loud voice they miss hearing.
As hard as this is and as horrible as it is, it's wonderful how people have come out to support our family.
That support will help drive them forward as they figure out a future without their father, friend, husband, and son.
It makes me cry. I can't imagine. It blows me away that this many people, want to help and care.
In Denver, Lawrence Gafidi, 9 News.
Western Sugar says the workers were doing routine maintenance when they were exposed to the gas. 3 other Western Sugar employees and 2 first responders were taken to the hospital the day that Tristan died. Most were treated and released. Tristan was the only one who didn't make it.